Within 6 months of launching its first product under the India 2.0 strategy, Volkswagen Passenger Cars India is now ready to launch its second product, a sedan, Volkswagen Virtus. To speak more about it, we have with us Mr. Ashish Gupta, Brand Director, Volkswagen Passenger Cars India. Ashish, welcome to Mobility Outlook.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As always, a pleasure to have you with us, Ashish. Let's talk about this new product. What expectations do you have? And describe the opportunity that you see in the sedan segment.
If you look at the definition of a car as we have grown up and still is valid, if you ask any child to draw a car today, it's a three-box sedan that he will draw. So that's the kind of love people have, or the association people have with a quintessential so-called big car. And that's what we are aiming to do with the Virtus, bring in a big by design car into the segment, reignite the segment with an offering which is the best package and the biggest package in this segment, whether it is in dimensions, whether it is in features, or whether it is in terms of performance. Sure. Okay, but still staying true to our core DNA of safety, build quality, and fun to drive experience. So it's going to be a very, very, I would say, attractive package and an attractive product which typically will reignite this segment. That's how I look at the Virtus.
Okay. I mean, we see that there continues to be a pretty strong demand for SUVs. Yeah. And in such a scenario, you're bringing in a sedan. Of course, you must have thought about the whole sedan, this particular segment. What sort of opportunities do you see in this segment? What's the kind of growth you expect to come in?
See, if you look at the sedan segment, and I'm talking about the overall sedan body style, it still constitutes around 12 to 14% of the Indian market. So if I see 12 to 14%, that means around 400,000 cars with the sedan body style are still sold in India. But if you come down to the premium mid-size sedan segment where the Virtus will be introduced, that is, I feel, shorn of too many options for the customers. Okay. So there's a tremendous opportunity for the body style and this segment to grow with the right product and the right package. The other thing which I see as an opportunity also is the way mobility or the way the market has shaped up over the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. We see very clearly that personal mobility has picked up. And when I say personal mobility, it means people are looking for additional cars in their families. Sure. Okay, it's not that too many new car buyers are going into the market. If they're entering at very lower price points. But people or families who are looking to add cars to their families are actually looking at two different body styles. If I already have an SUV, I would rather go for a different body style, which could be a sedan when you're going for an additional purchase. So that's typically an opportunity I see if you have the right product and the right option available to customers to make sure that they have choices in their family in terms of body styles.
Okay. Now, you talked about a 12 to 14% sort of a segment, right? So with these new products coming in, of course, I'm also talking about a product coming in from your group as well. Now, how do you look at expanding this particular segment, Ashish? What do you think would be the growth within this segment?
So if you look at the premium mid-size sedan segment, where we are bringing our car and also our sister brand as well, last year this segment ended at close to around 90,000 cars for the year. Okay, but the good thing was that compared to 2020, this segment grew by 28%. Okay, so with the entry of two very strong products and with the Virtus also positioned as a premium offering in that segment, I think the segment will grow to around 150,000.
So if I have to look at the Volkswagen portfolio of products currently, what's the kind of contribution you see this particular sedan contributing to your overall numbers?
See, if I look at the portfolio that we have, the refreshed portfolio we have now with the Taigun, with the Tiguan that we just launched in January, and the Virtus coming in, I would say I'm looking at an overall sales volume of around 5 to 5,500 a month, out of which around 2,000 should be contributed by the Virtus.
Ashish, you've also talked about in the past about a 3% market share for the group. Where are you in terms of, and how do you see this really pitching in to that goal?
See, with the launch of the Virtus towards the middle of this year, we will be crossing around 2% or will be very close to a 2% market share with this product. You have to imagine that the Taigun is just 4 months old into the market. The Virtus is just being introduced. So as the momentum picks up on these volumes, I'm sure that over the next 2 years, we'll reach that target.
Okay. So there's another thing that you have great focus on, and that is your the network that you were growing. Last time we met, you talked about creating 150 touch points which meant a geographical coverage of about 80%. Talk to us about the journey, and does that journey continue?
So yeah, definitely, it's not something which we started now or are starting now. It's a journey we started almost 2.5 years back in making sure that we have the right reach at the places where customers for our kind of a brand are available. And that's why over the last 2.5 years, we actually, brought a quantitative and a qualitative change in our network. When I say quantitative, we actually expanded from around 115 touch points at the end of 2019 to 150 at the end of 2021, right? So that network expansion has already taken place, and with that, as I said before, we are available in 80% of the network. But the more important thing for us was making the network quality oriented. Right. Okay, with quality also comes efficiency, becomes better productivity. So that effort continues and has to be a continuous effort to make sure that the quality standards that we deliver through our network meet the customer's expectations.
So, in this whole transformation journey, one, of course, is products, and of course, you're growing the network. But talk to us about other innovations that you're looking at bringing in. One, to connect with your customer, and two, also grow the business for Volkswagen in the country.
See, I think if you look at growing business other than network and products, we have the products, we have now the network. Important thing, as you said, as you mentioned, is how do we connect and how do we reach out to customers? And that is where our digitalization efforts through our Sarvottam 2.0 initiatives have been very successful. Right. We actually implemented over 40 digital initiatives, right from prospecting to after sales over the last 2 years. Okay, so some of the initiatives like car availability tool, car price configurator, test drive scheduler available on our website. Online booking of both sales and service. All these initiatives have already been implemented. Now it's about stabilizing these initiatives, making sure that we derive efficiencies out of it. Okay, so that definitely opens up a new, I would say, touch point for the customers to actually connect with the brand. And that is, I think, very important in today's age. We have seen a very huge digital transformation taking place in India over the last 2 years. And with these initiatives, we are right there.
Overall, when we look at the market and the current situation that we're in, do you think the worst is behind us, Ashish?
I wish I could say that. It's such a crazy world out there right now. Last 2 years have been totally unpredictable, and this unpredictability, the word itself says it. World has become more and more unpredictable. So just keep our fingers crossed. Keep rowing our boat.
What has been the impact of the semiconductor shortage within Volkswagen? How, because you have brought in two new products, how have you really addressed that?
See, the way the shortage is a reality. Okay, so we have had to change our production plans. We have had to change our mix plans. We have had to, introduce and take out features to adapt to these various, shortages that are coming in. So I think the biggest fallout of this whole crisis has been the unpredictability. The planning cycle has been totally disturbed. So the market demand, what customers are wanting for, what features they want, what kind of variants they are waiting for. But sometimes it becomes difficult for us to plan for that market demand. So that's been the challenge. It's been about managing the situation, making sure that you are still able to fulfill the demand by communicating better with the customers, whether it is in terms of waiting periods or whether it is features availability in cars. It's all about communication right now, because this is a situation you have to just manage.
One question again, coming back to the Virtus, Ashish, beyond domestic sales, what are your export plans for this product?
So, exports has always been a very integral part of our India 2.0 strategy. Even before the introduction of the India 2.0, we were exporting to many countries in the world, biggest of them being Mexico. We have been exporting to South Africa as well. So that strategy continues. We have already started exports of the Taigun to Mexico and to other markets as well. With the Virtus, we will be actually exporting the Virtus to almost 25 countries world over across 5 continents.
Okay, any update that you'd like to share with us on the Taigun and its performance in the last?
It's been overwhelming. It's all over the place, basically. If you look at whether it is the online media, if you look at social media, the customers have just loved the car. more than I would say 99% of the reviews that we have got from customers itself are overwhelmingly positively. Everybody has loved the driving dynamics of the car, the overall package that the car provides. So it's been overwhelming. It's in fact been about, as we talked about the semiconductor topic, managing these expectations and this demand with what we can supply. That if I look back, that is a little bit of a kind of a letdown for me, that we could not supply the number of cars or the number of customers we could not serve, which were waiting for this car, or who wanted this car. So that's a little bit of a downer for me whenever I look back at the last 6 months. But definitely within the challenges, it's been an overwhelming success for us.
Two exciting products, the more to follow for sure. Ashish, what about the long to mid-term sort of projection? How do you see the business panning out for you?
See, if we look at short term, our product portfolio is basically hardly, less than 6 months old in the market. The Tiguan is just 4 months into the market. The Tiguan is basically just 2 months old, and we are yet to introduce the Virtus into the market. So I think next 2 years are going to be about focusing on making sure that these products that we have freshly introduced reach their potential. That's very important because these form the base for our future, right? So that's what I and my team will be focusing on for the next 2 to 3 years, to make sure that these cars are successful in the market, reach their potential, and then start looking parallelly at plans for the eventual transformation that has to take place in line with global thought process of the brand, which very clearly has to be electrification. But electrification, or mass electrification, I would say, is something which is at least 3 to 4 years away. At least from our brand, I see that happening only in the second half of this decade. But during the interim period, we have to prepare for it.
So like you said, electrification is second half of this decade. But in the interim, what are the pockets of opportunities that you see from a product and segment perspective?
See, what I'm also looking at is to enhance our premium, aspirational premium positioning further. I'm also looking at bringing in some limited volumes of our global product portfolio, whether it is, the SUV body styles that we have. We have the Touareg globally available. Customers are waiting for that. Some limited volumes of, let's say, the Tiguan Allspace once again, or the T-Roc, or maybe other global products like the Atlas, or maybe even limited volumes of products like the Golf and all. Yeah, so that's something which I at least I want to establish as one part of our business, because that plays right into our premium aspirational positioning, and customers love those products world over.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking to Mobility Outlook, Ashish.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.